What's up, fellas? Point guard coming back at you. They said black men aren't welcome anywhere. I'm living proof they're wrong. Welcome to the next chapter forward. I'm Stephen Bardo, your point guard. And I want to bring something up today that this black man said online that really got my attention. I'm going to read it for you, and you can read it with me. I realize I'm not really wanted anywhere. At this point, I'd rather move to a progressive blue state and hope for the best. Guys, listen, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this sort of despair that this gentleman seems to be going through, okay? Because that's the way they want us to think. That's what they want you to think, that you're not welcome anywhere and that you're stuck and that you don't have any options, okay? So, guys, let's talk about something here, all right? Let's set this up properly. The life expectancy of black men in the United States is 69 years old. Now, don't come for me all crazy in the comments. It's an average, meaning that half the people die before or at that point, and half the people die at that point or above that age, okay? It's an average. You may be different. Don't come at me in the comments. This is a fact. The life expectancy of black men in the United States is 69 years old, okay? So let me read something to you. Because research tells us that experiencing racial discrimination activates the same physiological stress response as a physical threat to your life. Your cortisol spikes, your blood pressure goes up, your immune system takes a hit day by day, year after year, decade after decade. Researchers call it weathering, your body aging faster than it should because of chronic racial stress. Right? Now, guys, you know what this is because you've all experienced it. You know exactly what I'm talking about here. And so this feeling that this brother, that he wants to move to a liberal blue state and hope for the best. Come on, guys. We're God's original people. The copper-colored people of the Americas are God's original people. We belong wherever the hell we put our feet down. Wherever you think that you feel the best, wherever you feel like you think you belong the most, that's where you belong. Now, the powers that be in the United States will have us thinking differently, right? But here's the thing, guys. I understand what the brother's saying and thinking, okay? When you've been 50 plus as a black man in the United States, you're told this neighborhood, you don't belong there. Oh, this job, it requires too much intellectual capacity. You don't belong there. You know, the country clubs. Guys, do you realize that we weren't allowed in certain country clubs? It's only been in the last 15 or 20 years that there is some place that we were not allowed. Now think about that for a second. So all these things that are created and set up, right, for us to think that we need to be stuck in the United States. The only thing we can hope for is a blue state. Think about that, guys, a blue state. And I'm not really political because I think the Republicans and Democrats are both full of shit. I don't think either one of them has our best interests at heart as copper-colored people of America's black people. Neither party. They're of the same snake. They're two fangs of the same snake when it comes to dealing with black people, the copper-colored people of America. Okay, so guys, when you think about that, I get it, right? I get it. There's a difference between, the biology of us feeling under attack and not welcome, and how you can live in a different place like I'm living in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. All right. So experiencing racial discrimination, I want to show you this because it's key, guys. The same physiological stress response that a physical threat to your life does. Cortisol spikes, blood pressure goes up, your immune system takes a hike. Okay? I mean, it takes a hit, not a hike. It damages your immune system. Now, let me give you my personal story and things that really built up to me abandoning a 25-year career in the sports industry. Guys, I had the job that most men would die for, would give a body part for. I'm a former professional basketball player. I played in the NBA with Dallas, Detroit, and San Antonio. I played overseas in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, Venezuela, and Japan. I've been all over the world, okay? So for a guy that played professional basketball is my life. It's my family business. To be able to make good money as a television commentator covering NBA and college basketball, I had the dream job. Why in the hell would I leave that? Well, let me give an example. Going to Columbus, Ohio, where Ohio State University is, and we generally fly in the day before the games, probably early, like afternoon, evening, okay? So I land, I get to the hotel, drop my stuff off. I'm hungry. I go to a spot. It's in Short North is what the neighborhood is called in Columbus, Short North. It's just north of the Ohio State campus, okay? And there's a strip mall with a bunch of restaurants and stores and whatnot that I go to because there's a couple of those little restaurants I really like. I pull into the strip mall and there's a car parked in a stall and there's a police cruiser behind it. Two police officers had their guns drawn with the doors open on this car, okay? I pull into a restaurant that's about 3 or 4 restaurants down, but I can see it's a black couple in the car. So I pull out my phone and I start recording. Within 20 to 30 seconds of me recording, because I'm showing everything and I'm setting the video up, I'm talking as I'm videoing, there are squad cars coming from everywhere. There were 30 cars, police cars that showed up on the scene. They got on the loudspeaker. They told the brother, get out of the car with your hands up, your back to us, take short steps backwards, drop to your knees. They came and frisked him, handcuffed him, put him in the back. They told the black woman in the passenger seat, get out and do the exact same thing. She gets out shaking because guns are drawn, guys. Black people have died for less. They tell her, walk backwards, drop to her knees. They frisk her, they handcuff her, they put her in the back of the cruiser. There were 10 cops that flipped this car. Absolutely nothing. No drugs, no alcohol, nothing. And these MFers walked off laughing. The cops that I'm videotaping, they're looking at me laughing. Like, yeah, you're recording. What you gonna do about it? I'm obviously, I haven't quite gotten over that experience. So if that one experience can continue to have me have this kind of emotional response, this is one experience that I had throughout 25 years of calling college basketball. A perfect job, wonderful job. I really enjoyed the people that I worked with. But that example, me getting pulled off a United Airlines flight, I've never been pulled off a flight before in 39 years of flying by a racist flight attendant whose ass I would have mopped and walked up and down the street as much as I wanted to. And his punk ass knew it because I would have throttled him out on the street. But he knew if I put a hand on him, that's a felony. But by the Creator's grace, because the Creator was looking over me that day, they bring a brother to pull me off the flight. They wouldn't bring a white man or a white woman. They brought a brother to pull me off of this flight. Right? And that was the last straw for me to say, I'm getting the hell out of the United States. Because guys, here's the thing. You can dress a certain way. You can act a certain way. You can speak a certain way. You can dim your light to make others feel better. You can make yourself smaller to not take up so much space in the room that you command as a black man. You can do all these things and it doesn't matter. And you guys know it. You know it to your core that I'm telling the truth. Did you see the emotional response that I had with telling you that story? I wasn't the one that was under gunpoint. I simply saw it and was recording it. And you see the emotional impact that still has on me today. That was a year and a half ago, guys. I'm a year removed from the United States. And I sat here and almost cried telling you that story. You all have the same experiences. It may not look like, it may not be in Columbus, Ohio, but it could have been in Jacksonville, Florida, Newark, New Jersey, Omaha, Nebraska, Los Angeles, California. I can go anywhere in the country. That same situation repeats itself. Okay? So for that brother that said, I know that I'm not wanted anywhere and that I'm just going to move to a liberal blue state and hope for the best. Brother, there are places outside of the United States that will welcome you, that will treat you with respect. Okay? All right. Is the racial stress I experience here in Playa del Carmen activating my nervous system the same way that the Columbus, Ohio situation does? Guys, what do you think? Okay. Right? Is there racism in Mexico? Of course there is. There's colorism. I call it colorism. I don't call it racism. They don't have systems systematically set up to keep black people. Well, let me not say that. Let me back that up. Recently, the Mexican president has affirmed that Afro-Indigenous people were here first in the region that's now called Mexico. Claudia Sheinbaum, the Mexican president, said that Afro-Indigenous people were here first and that they're now starting to try to undo the wrongs that were done to the Afro-Indigenous people of Mexico. Sound familiar? Sound familiar, guys? But the colorism here in Mexico it's not even close. Because one, the Mexican people generally don't fear us like the MAGA folks in the United States do. They don't walk down the street fearing us. Okay, that's the difference. Right? So will you go somewhere in the world where you won't experience racism? Probably not. But it won't even feel like racism. It'll feel more like curiosity. People will look at you as in a way that's like they're not looking at you like, oh, I hate that person. They're looking at you like, man, I've never seen a 6'6" black man this close to me. And guys, you'll notice the energy. The energy is totally different. It's like they're almost in awe of how good we look, of how good our energy feels. Guys, when you go somewhere, and you won't see this on vacation, you got to be in a place, at least a month. I'm telling you, this happened to me and my best friend in Panama and in Mexico. Okay. These Latin people want to be near us, men. They want to get next to you. They want to feel your energy. Me and my friend in respect to 420, because it's 420, happy 420 for those of you that partake like I do. Don and I are enjoying one in Panama City, Panama. And we're sitting on two separate benches. So I'm sitting on this side, Don's sitting on this side, right? And there's a crease in between the seats. It's about this big, enough for a person to walk through, but it's not that big, right? And so he and I are enjoying the fruits of our fruit. And this guy just casually walks in between me and Don. Like it's not a space guy. Like if he was a big dude, he couldn't fit through it. He walks right between the two of us and he just keeps walking. Right? Another time here in Playa del Carmen, same thing. We're sitting somewhere. I was on the beach. And we had this happen like 5 or 6 times. Me and Don are sitting on the beach, 2 chairs, and cats come right between us 5 times. Like you have to, it's not like we're sitting there and we're just that far apart. We're sitting together, looking at the water on the beach 5 times. People come between us or just walk between us. They want our energy, guys. I'm telling you, they're more inquisitive than anything. Yeah, there are some Mexican people that hate black people, probably, yeah. But you won't feel it. Nothing like you do in the United States, okay? All right. And this is what I'm talking about. The dose of racial stress I carry here is dramatically lower. Why? Because the lower dose adds years to your life. There's a difference between a place that has bias and a place that structurally weaponizes against you. Look at that last part again. There's a big difference between a place that has bias and a country and a nation that is structurally weaponized against you. That's the difference, fellas. So if you're over 50 and you're a black man, you've lived in the United States this whole time, chances are that half of you won't make it to 69. That's statistics, guys. That's not me talking. Okay, that's statistics. So half of you won't make it to 79. Half of you will. You'll make it past 79 or 69. I'm sorry. Half of you won't make it to 69. Half of you will make it past 69. However many years that you have left, do you want to live in a place that has the whole system is weaponized against you? Or do you want to be in a place where certain people have a bias against you? A bias meaning that there's no systems set in place to structurally hamper your progress or to kill you with immunity or to poison your food and your water supply legally. Do you want to live in a place like that? Or would you rather live in a place that has fresh food, access to clean drinking water, a place where you can feel respected and safe? Guys, I cannot repeat this enough. Respected and safe. When you feel safe, you can manifest whatever you want. Whatever the Creator has designed for you, you can't manifest properly in a situation that you do not feel respected and you do not feel safe. The number one thing for men is to be respected. If you do not feel respected, you can't tap into your higher self. If you don't feel safe, you can't tap into your higher self. Okay? All right. The risk of staying in a place where life expectancy is 69 years old. Do you want to spend your remaining years like that, guys? Do you really? I didn't. And I got a typo here. I'm a 58-year-old black man who played in the NBA, called games on national television, walked away from my dream job because my health and my peace were worth more than any paycheck. I'm going to say that again. I walked away from my dream job because my health and my peace are worth way more than any paycheck. Guys, I can make money. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hustler. I can make money. I can't make more time. I can't create workouts and think about them and then they get done. I got to do them. I have to set my life up to where I can feel respected. I can feel safe. And now I can work out every day. I can do my morning routine, which includes meditation and prayer, right? I can volunteer in the local community because it's safe and they're not looking at me as an ogre or an in IGA. They're not looking at me like that. They're looking at me as a valued member of the community. Guys, I've got a couple who I'm friends with. It's Stefania and Marco. I absolutely love this couple. They're about to get married. And Stefania has a daughter from a previous situation, and her name is Ava. She is 9 years old, and she is beautiful, guys. I think her father is black Venezuelan, because Stefania's Venezuelan. And she's a black girl, all legs and some determination to be great, y'all. I mean, I love playing with her, right? So I come to her team's practice. The coach loved it. The coaches loved me being there. They asked me to speak to the players. I did, and I asked them questions. I would rebound. The guy wants me to come back and help coach. I said, no, I will come back, and I want to volunteer. I want to support what you guys are doing. I'm not coming to take over nothing. I'm coming to be a part of the community. That's because, guys, I feel respected and I feel safe. And I was in such bliss with those children because they're looking at me as an ex-NBA player. They're not looking at me as black. They're not looking at me as somebody that they need to be afraid of. They're looking at me with amazement that I play in the NBA, and two, that I'm standing on the same court as them. My presence blessed them that day. Those kids and those coaches blessed me that day. That's the type of life you can set up for yourself, guys. Whatever career field that you've gotten good in, that you become an expert in, do you know that you can do the same thing in these different countries? Did you know that? That's why I'm trying to learn to be fluent in Spanish, because, guys, you're going to see me calling Spanish, Mexican basketball league, Puerto Rican basketball league. I'm telling you, that's one of my goals. Okay. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't feel respected and I didn't feel safe. All right. That's how important that is. And I want you guys to understand that. Okay. Now, if you guys like what I've been putting down, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It really helps the growth of the channel. And I really appreciate you guys helping me build this community of Next Chapter Forward, and it's continue to grow. If you haven't done so already, go get your global scouting report. It's 8 questions, takes 2 minutes, gives you a score of your readiness to relocate. It also adds you to the Next Chapter Forward email list. Okay. You can also type free throw 15 in the comments. I'll send you a link. You can schedule a free 15-minute session with yours truly. We go over your situation, and I give you next steps moving forward. Okay? All right. Thank you guys for joining me today on Next Chapter Forward. They said black men aren't welcome anywhere, and I'm living proof that they're wrong. Okay? You guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure you tune back into Bartle's Breakdown for more videos, shorts, and lives like this. Until next time,